the channel where we tell simple, powerful stories to help you practice English and learn important lessons. In today's story, you will meet a boy named Leo. He is smart, curious, and has a big dream. He wants to buy a red bicycle, but instead of asking for money, he decides to earn it. How? By starting a small business, a lemonade stand. But Leo is not alone. His best friend Max joins him. Max is fun and full of energy, but he doesn't like to plan. He wants to do everything fast without thinking. At first, everything seems easy. Customers come, money comes in, but slowly, things start to go wrong. This story is more than just about selling lemonade. It's about friendship, mistakes, learning, and growing up. It shows how trust, hard work, and knowledge can change everything. You will learn new words, hear simple sentences, and enjoy a story that feels real and true. If you are learning English, this is a perfect story for you. You can listen, read, and even repeat the sentences to improve your speaking. So, find a quiet place, sit back, and enjoy this 10-chapter journey with us. The story is called The Lemonade Stand, a Childhood Business Story. Let's begin together. Chapter 1. The Spark of an Idea. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was hot, and the streets were quiet. Most kids were playing or watching TV, but Leo was doing something different. He was sitting on the floor in his room, watching a video on his old tablet. The video showed two kids in another country. They had started a lemonade stand and made money by selling cold drinks on the street. They worked together, smiled at customers, and at the end of the week, they counted a box full of coins and cash. Leo's eyes were wide. He sat up straight. "I can do that too," he said to himself. "That's a good idea." Leo was 12 years old. He liked reading books, learning new things, and writing in his notebook. He didn't just have ideas, he made plans. And now, he wanted to start a small business, not just to make money, but to learn something new. Leo had one small dream. He wanted to buy a red bicycle. It cost $100. His parents said it was too expensive. So, Leo decided to earn the money by himself. He ran to the window and looked outside. His best friend Max was sitting under a tree throwing stones at a can. Leo called out, "Hey Max, come here, I have an idea!" Max jumped up and ran to the door. "What is it?" Max asked. He was always full of energy and loved having fun. He wasn't good at school, and he didn't like reading or thinking too much. But he always listened to Leo. Leo smiled and held up his tablet. "Look, these kids made money by selling lemonade. We can do it too. We can make our own lemonade stand." Max's eyes lit up. "Wow, that sounds easy. Let's do it." Leo nodded. "Yes, but we need a plan first." They sat down on the floor, and Leo opened his notebook. He started writing. "Our lemonade stand plan. Name, Sweet Squeeze. What to sell, lemonade. Where, my front yard. Price, $1 per cup. Goal, make $100 to buy a red bike." Max looked at the notebook and laughed. "You don't need to write all that. Let's just make some lemonade and sell it. It's simple." Leo shook his head. "No, Max. If we want to do it right, we need a plan. We have to know what to buy and how much money to spend." Max rolled his eyes and smiled. Okay. You're the boss. But let's not make it too serious. We're just kids." Leo smiled back. "Yes, we're kids. But we can still do something smart. Let's make this summer special." That night, Leo sat on his bed and looked at the plan again. He felt excited. He believed this was the start of something good. He was happy to work with Max. They were different, but they were friends. Leo didn't know what would happen next. He only knew one thing. This was the spark of an idea, and it was just the beginning. Chapter 2. Setting up shop. The next morning, Leo woke up early. He felt excited. The sun was bright, and the air was warm. It was the perfect day to begin. He picked up his notebook, turned to a new page, and wrote, "Today we start our lemonade stand." After breakfast, he met Max near the gate. Leo had saved $20 from helping his neighbors walk their dogs. "This is all I have," he said, holding the money. "We have to spend it wisely." They walked to the small market near their street. The shopkeeper smiled when he saw them. "Planning a party?" he asked. "No," Leo said proudly. "We're starting a business." They bought lemons, sugar, cups, and a big plastic jug. Leo checked the prices carefully and wrote everything in his notebook. He wrote down how much they spent and how many cups they could sell. "We'll sell each cup for $1, he said. "If we sell 25 cups, we'll make our money back and some profit too." Max didn't care about the notebook. He was more excited about carrying the lemons and choosing the biggest jug. "This is going to be fun," he said. Back at Leo's house, they went into the kitchen to prepare the lemonade. Leo washed the lemons and opened the sugar packet. Then he looked for the recipe in an old cooking book. He read carefully. "Use 1 cup of lemon juice, 1 cup of sugar, and 4 cups of water." Max laughed. "Why do we need a recipe? I know how to make lemonade. My aunt makes it all the time. You just throw in lemons and sugar." Leo frowned. "But we want it to taste good. Not too sour, not too sweet. It has to be perfect." Max rolled his eyes. "Trust me, I know what I'm doing." Leo didn't argue. He quietly measured the ingredients and made a test batch. He tasted it. "Nice," he said. Then he gave some to Max. "Try this." Max sipped it. "It's okay, but mine will be better." Max grabbed a lemon, squeezed it with his hands, and poured sugar straight from the packet. Then he added water without measuring. "Done," he said proudly. Leo looked at the mess. "That's not how it works, Max. We need the same taste in every cup." But Max didn't listen. People won't care. If it's cold and sweet, they'll drink it. Leo didn't want to fight. He wanted to be a good friend. So he let Max prepare his own jug. Then they set up the table outside Leo's house. They made a big sign that said lemonade, $1 a cup. Leo also added a small note, cold, fresh, and safe. Max laughed again. "You and your notes," Leo smiled. "Customers need to trust us." They placed 2 jugs on the table, Leo's and Max's. Next to them were rows of paper cups and a bowl for money. Leo looked at his notebook one more time. He had the plan, the prices, and the goal. Everything was ready. Max stood up and shouted loudly, "Lemonade! Cold lemonade for $1." Leo sat back and watched as people started to walk by. Their first business day was about to begin. Chapter 3. Early Success. The first customer was a woman walking her dog. She stopped at the stand and smiled. "Oh, lemonade, just what I need on a hot day," she said. Leo gave her a cup from his jug. She took a sip and nodded. "Very nice. Not too sweet." She dropped $1 into the bowl. Max quickly poured a second cup from his own jug. "Try mine too," he said with a big smile. The woman tasted it, but her face changed. A little too sweet for me," she said politely. Max didn't notice. He was too happy. "We made our first sale," he shouted. More people came. Kids, parents, even a delivery man. Some chose Leo's lemonade, and some tried Max's. Many liked the cold drink, and some came back for a second cup. By lunchtime, they had sold every drop. Leo counted the money. "We made $27, he said. "That's a good start." Max was jumping around. "This is easy. I told you we didn't need a recipe. People love it." Leo smiled but stayed quiet. He opened his notebook and began writing. Day 1. We sold out. Max is excited. "I think we can make it better. Maybe add fruit flavor or offer 2 sizes." Max looked over his shoulder. "Are you writing again?" "What now?" Leo closed the notebook. "I think we can improve it. What if we add a new flavor like strawberry or mint?" Max shook his head. "Why? It's already working. If it's not broken, don't fix it." Leo looked at the empty cups. "Yes, but we can do better. People liked it, but they didn't love it. If we improve, maybe more will come back." Max crossed his arms. "You think too much. Just make lemonade and sell it. That's all." Leo didn't answer. He knew Max meant well, but he also knew that good business needs new ideas. He wanted customers to remember their lemonade, not just for being cold, but for being different. That evening, Leo sat with his grandpa and told him everything. Grandpa Joe smiled and said, "You did well. But remember, a good plan is only the beginning. Keep learning, keep improving." Leo nodded. He looked at the red bicycle picture on his wall. He wasn't just thinking about money. He was thinking about doing something great, something smart, careful, and fun. Summer had just begun, and the lemonade stand was only the first step. Chapter 4. Trouble Starts. After the first few days, their lemonade stand became popular. People from the neighborhood stopped by often. Kids came with coins in their hands, and parents smiled as they sipped the cold drink. Leo was happy, but he stayed focused. Each night, he checked the money, wrote in his notebook, and thought about ways to improve. But Max didn't care about notebooks or plans. He only cared about selling fast and making money. One morning, while Leo was still getting dressed, Max opened the stand early. He poured water into the lemonade jug to make it look full. "More cups, more money," he said to himself. Later that day, Leo arrived and saw the half-empty sugar bag and the nearly full jug. Something didn't feel right. "Did you make a new batch?" Leo asked. Max grinned. "No, I just added water. No one will notice." Leo frowned. "That's not honest." "It changes the taste." Max laughed. "Who cares? It's hot outside. People want cold drinks, not perfect lemonade." Leo didn't argue, but he felt uneasy. That afternoon, a few customers complained. "These taste weak," said a man who came the day before. "It's not the same as last time," said a girl with her little brother. Leo tried to fix the problem by mixing a fresh batch using his recipe, but the damage was done. Some people walked away. The next day brought a new surprise. Just across the street, under a big tree, a new stand appeared. A colorful sign read, "Maya's Craft and Juice Stand. Handmade gifts plus real fruit juice." Leo and Max looked at the stand. Maya, a girl from their class, was behind the table. She smiled and waved. Her stand had flowers, painted jars, bracelets, and fresh-looking drinks in glass bottles. People started gathering around her stand. The juice looked bright and tasty. A woman said, "This is delicious." A boy bought a bracelet and a drink together. Max watched with a frown. She copied us! Leo shook his head. No, she made something new. Crafts and juice. That's smart. Max crossed his arms. She's stealing our customers. Leo sighed. No, Max. People are going there because they like the quality. We need to improve, not complain. Max didn't listen. He whispered, Tomorrow, I'll raise our price. If people want better, they should pay more. Leo looked at Max, shocked. You can't raise prices without asking me. We're partners. Max didn't reply. He turned and walked away. That night, Leo sat with his notebook, feeling worried. He wanted the business to grow, but not like this. Watered-down drinks, angry customers, and now competition from someone who cared about quality. Leo wrote, Day 5. Something is changing. Max doesn't listen anymore. Customers are unhappy. Maya is doing great work. Maybe it's time to think differently. He closed the notebook and looked at the stars outside his window. He still believed in their lemonade stand. But now, he wasn't sure if Max believed in it the same way. Chapter 5. Leo's Warnings. The next morning, Leo arrived early at the stand. He had a new plan in his notebook. He wanted to fix the problems and try something better. He added a simple idea. Use real fruit pieces in the lemonade and offer 2 sizes of cups. He believed customers would notice the care and come back. When Max came, he was carrying a big smile and a bag of plastic cups. Let's sell fast today, he said. We're raising the price to $2 a cup. Leo looked up. Max, we need to talk. Max frowned. About what? Leo held up his notebook. We are losing customers. People said the lemonade tasted weak. They're going to Maya's stand now. She uses real fruit, and her stand looks nice. We need to learn from her. Max rolled his eyes. Oh, please, Leo. Maya's doing crafts. That's not real business. And we're not copying her. Leo stayed calm. It's not copying. It's learning. We want to give people something better, don't we? Max laughed. Come on, man. We're friends. We don't need to follow rules or take ideas from others. Let's just be ourselves. Leo shook his head. Being ourselves is good, but being smart is better. Business is not just about selling. It's about making people happy. They won't come back if they don't like what they buy. Max crossed his arms. You worry too much. Look, we're making money. That's what matters. Leo didn't answer right away. He looked across the street at Maya's stand. It was still early, but already one person was buying juice from her. Maya smiled and said thank you. Her stand looked clean, fresh, and kind. Leo turned back to Max. If we don't change, we'll lose everyone. Max looked away. We're not losing. We're fine. Leo closed his notebook slowly. Okay, Max. But remember, friendship doesn't mean we stop thinking. We can still be friends and do the right thing. Max didn't reply. That afternoon, fewer people came to their stand. A few bought lemonades, but others walked past without stopping. Across the street, Maya's stand stayed busy. People smiled, took photos, and talked about the taste of her juice. Leo watched quietly. He felt sad, not just about the business, but about Max. They had started as a team, but now it felt like they were walking in 2 different directions. That night, Leo wrote, Day 6. I tried to talk to Max. He won't listen. He thinks friendship is enough. But in business, thinking matters too. I'm worried. Something bad might happen soon. He put the notebook under his pillow and turned off the light. Summer still had many days left, but Leo could already feel that things were about to change. Chapter 6. The Big Mistake. It was another hot day. The sky was clear and the street was busy. Leo was running late. His mom asked him to help clean the backyard, so Max opened the stand on his own. He wanted to prove he could handle everything without help. "I don't need Leo's notebook," he told himself. "I know how to do this." Max went into Leo's kitchen to prepare a new batch of lemonade. He wanted to make it fast and sell more than Maya. He saw a large white bag near the sink. It looked just like sugar. Without reading the label, he poured it into the jug and mixed it with lemon juice and water. He didn't taste it. He didn't think twice. By the time Leo arrived, Max was already serving customers. "We're doing great," Max said. "I made a new batch. Real sweet this time." Leo looked at the jug. "Did you use the sugar in the cabinet?" Max nodded quickly. Yeah. The white bag near the sink. Leo froze. "Wait, that's not sugar. That's dish soap. My mom keeps it in an old sugar bag." Max's smile disappeared. Just then, a small boy from the neighborhood ran up to their stand, holding his stomach. Behind him came his mother, looking angry. "My son drank your lemonade. Now he feels sick." Leo's heart dropped. "I'm so sorry," he said. "Let me call my mom." "We'll help." The mother didn't wait. She left with her child and said, "This is dangerous. You should not be selling anything." More parents heard about it. In less than an hour, the street was filled with whispers. Someone called the local shopkeeper, Mr. Torres, who told them to shut down the stand for now. "This is serious," he said. "You need to be careful when making food or drinks." Max didn't say a word. They packed everything in silence. The table, the sign, the cups. Leo put them all in a box. He didn't feel angry. He felt empty. Back in the yard, Leo sat under the tree with his notebook in his hands. He didn't even open it. He just stared at the ground. Max finally spoke. "It's not my fault. That bag looked like sugar." Leo said nothing. Max added, "Also, this wouldn't have happened if Maya hadn't stolen our customers. She made me rush." Leo looked at him slowly. "Maya didn't make you do anything. You made a mistake. You didn't check. You didn't ask." Max stood up. "Why are you always on her side?" "I'm not," Leo said. "I'm on the side of what's right." Max walked away. That night, Leo opened his notebook and wrote just one sentence. Day 7. A big mistake. Someone got hurt. Not because we were unlucky, but because we didn't think. He closed the book and looked at the picture of the red bicycle on his wall. It felt farther away now. Chapter 7. Facing the Fallout. Leo sat on the porch, staring at the closed lemonade stand. The sign was folded, the cups were packed away, and the money box was empty. A soft breeze moved the leaves in the yard, but Leo didn't notice. His heart felt heavy. His face was red with shame. He couldn't stop thinking about the small boy who got sick, and the angry voice of the boy's mother. It was the worst day of the summer. He didn't blame Max. Not completely. But he couldn't forget the truth either. Max had made the lemonade without checking, without asking, and without care. And now, everything they built was gone. Leo didn't want to open his notebook. He didn't want to write anything. His dream of buying a red bicycle felt foolish now. More than that, He felt embarrassed in front of the neighborhood. People trusted them, and now that trust was broken. That evening, Grandpa Joe came to sit beside him. He didn't say anything at first. He just sat quietly, watching the sky turn orange. Then, in his slow, gentle voice, he said, "You know, Leo, in life, people will hurt you. Some do it with bad hearts, and some with good hearts but foolish minds." Leo turned his face slightly. Max didn't mean to hurt anyone. "I know," Grandpa said, "but meaning well is not always enough. Sometimes a foolish friend causes more damage than a clever rival ever could." Leo looked down at his hands. "I trusted him," he whispered. "He's my best friend." Grandpa Joe nodded. "And that's good. Friendship matters. But real friendship also needs truth. It needs listening. And sometimes it needs distance." Leo felt tears in his eyes but didn't let them fall. "I wanted to do something smart," he said softly. "I wanted to build something good." "And you did," Grandpa said. "But you also learned something important. Wisdom and loyalty must walk together. One without the other is like a boat with one paddle. It can only go in circles." Leo thought about that. He thought about Max's loud voice, quick choices, and his proud smile when people first bought their lemonade. He also thought about Maya, careful, quiet, and kind. She was a rival, yes, but she was not the problem. The problem was trusting loyalty more than good judgment. That night, Leo finally opened his notebook again. This time, he wrote slowly. Day 8. I now understand something hard, but true. Being friends doesn't mean you stop thinking. Max is my friend. But he didn't want to learn. He didn't listen. And that's why we failed. I chose loyalty over wisdom. And that was my mistake. He closed the notebook and looked at the stars above his house. Summer was not over yet. Maybe the lemonade stand was, but Leo's learning had just begun. Chapter 8. The Comeback Plan. 2 days passed. Leo didn't open the lemonade stand. He didn't talk to Max. He spent most of his time reading and thinking, but he wasn't ready to give up. Deep inside, he still believed in his idea. He just knew it needed to be better, safer, smarter, and more responsible. One morning, Leo did something brave. He took his notebook, walked down the street, and knocked on the doors of a few customers who had bought lemonade before. He spoke clearly, but politely. I want to say I'm sorry, he told them. We made a mistake. Someone got sick. It won't happen again. I'm learning how to do things the right way. Some people were surprised. Some smiled. One older man said, "It takes courage to say sorry, young man." Keep learning. Leo felt a little better. That afternoon, he walked across the street to Maya's stand. She was organizing her bracelets and wiping the juice bottles. When she saw Leo, she smiled. "Hi," she said. "You, okay?" Leo nodded. "Not really. But I want to be. I came to ask for help." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Help?" "I want to learn how to do this the right way," Leo said. "You're doing great. People like your juice. You keep everything clean. I want to understand how you manage it all." Maya paused, then nodded. "Okay. You can work with me for a few days, but only if you really want to learn." "I do," Leo said. "I want to make a comeback. Not just to sell again, but to do better." So, for the next 3 days, Leo helped Maya at her stand. He watched how she washed the fruit carefully, how she used gloves to handle cups, and how she kept a list of ingredients. She showed him how to set prices, make small signs, and offer free samples to new customers. He also saw how she talked to people, not just to sell something, but to build trust. Each evening, Leo went home and wrote in his notebook, Day 9. Learned about clean hands, clean tools, and good words. Day 10. Maya makes people feel special. That matters. Day 11. A good stand is more than drinks. It's about care. By the end of the third day, Leo felt ready. He thanked Maya for her help. I think I'm ready to open my stand again, he said. Maya smiled. Good. Just remember, don't try to be perfect. Just try to care. Leo nodded. He would start again. Not with pride, not with rush, but with knowledge, respect, and a heart that wanted to do things right. Chapter 9. Friendship tested. A few days later, Leo reopened his lemonade stand, but this time, it looked different. He used a clean tablecloth, clear labels, and small signs showing the ingredients. He had 2 flavors, classic lemon and lemon with mint. He wore clean gloves, kept extra napkins, and placed a tip jar with a simple note. Thank you for supporting safe and honest lemonade. Customers came back slowly. Some were curious. Others remembered his kind apology. One lady said, I'm glad you didn't give up. Another added, it's better than before. Leo smiled. He still wrote in his notebook after each day. He was not just making money, he was building something he could be proud of. But Max was watching from across the street. He had not spoken to Leo since the day the stand closed. He felt angry, then sad, then confused. And now, as he watched Leo serve smiling customers, he felt something else, jealousy. That should be us, Max said to himself. We started it together. Later that evening, Max came over. He stood near the stand but didn't speak right away. He kicked a stone with his shoe. Finally, he said, You did a good job. Leo looked up. Thanks. Max scratched his head. I didn't think you'd do it without me. Leo stayed quiet. I was wrong, Max said. I didn't listen. I thought I knew everything. But I didn't. I didn't even read the label on the bag. I just wanted things to be easy. Leo nodded. It's not easy. Not if you want to do it right. Max looked down. I didn't realize how much I was hurting the business. I was only thinking about quick money. I'm sorry. Leo looked at his friend for a moment. He thought about all the good times they shared, and all the trouble too. Then he said, I forgive you. Max's face softened. But, Leo continued, if we ever work together again, things must be different. Max looked up. What do you mean? Leo smiled kindly. We both have to learn. We both have to plan. We can still have fun, but we must take it seriously too. Max nodded slowly. Deal. They shook hands. It wasn't just a handshake between friends. It was a promise between future business partners who had learned a big lesson. Leo opened his notebook that night and wrote, Day 14. Max came back. He said sorry. That takes courage. Forgiveness matters, but clear rules do too. Now we grow together. Or not at all. The summer wasn't over yet. And this time, Leo was not just selling lemonade. He was growing wiser, with a notebook full of lessons and a heart full of hope. Thank you for staying with us through this story. The Lemonade Stand, a childhood business story. Leo and Max started with a simple goal, to sell lemonade and earn some money. But along the way, they faced real challenges. There were mistakes, arguments, and even failure. But from each problem, they learned something important. This story teaches us more than just English. It teaches us that business is not only about money, it's about honesty, planning, teamwork, and doing the right thing, especially when it's hard. And maybe the biggest lesson of all came from Grandpa Joe's wise words. An uneducated friend is more dangerous than a wise enemy. What does that mean? It means that even someone close to you, someone who means well, can hurt you if they don't understand what they're doing. And that's why learning matters. Knowledge is power. It helps us make better choices in business and in life. Leo forgave Max, but he also made a smart decision. If they work together again, they must both learn and grow. That is true friendship. We hope this story helped you practice your English and also gave you something to think about. If you liked this story, please click like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. We have more stories coming about life, success, failure, and lessons that stay with you. Thank you again. Keep reading, keep listening, and most of all, keep learning.